Just over state lines tonight, alleged insinuated threats of violence have led to the cancellation of a drag storytelling event in Enfield.
And for children in Enfield has been canceled after disturbing comments were posted online.
A Pride event in Enfield is now off after organizers say they received social media threats.
A Pride event for children called off in Enfield over fears of violence.
The drag story hour was originally supposed to be for children and their families here at the Enfield Library, set for sometime in April. But Enfield Pride organizers say they were getting insinuations of violence on social media, and that's ultimately why they decided to cancel the event.
The organizers are worried after some hateful backlash surfaced online.
However, organizers say after they saw some disturbing comments left on their social media, it convinced them that this was enough to pull the event.
After comments on social media allegedly insinuated violence would occur at the children's event, leading Enfield Pride leaders to make the difficult decision to cancel it.
A drag story hour for children quickly became a fiery topic in Enfield.
While Enfield Pride President and United Church of Christ Reverend Dr. Greg says Pride events in Enfield are not new, the level of backlash online, specifically toward the drag story hour, was concerning enough to call it off.
Felicity V. Lay is no stranger to entertaining families. As a drag queen, she has done various events in the Enfield area, including Drag Queen Storytime. V. Lay is no stranger to entertaining families. As a drag queen, she has done various events in the Enfield area, including Drag Queen Storytime.
Gray is the president of Enfield Pride and pastor at the United Church of Christ. He says when news of the event was posted to Facebook, there were many comments that ultimately forced the decision to cancel the event.
Enfield Pride's president said he pulled the plug after some concerning comments on social media. Enfield Pride President and United Church of Christ Reverend Dr. Greg Gray says Pride events in Enfield are nothing new, but a drag reading event meant to highlight diversity, literacy, and gender expression for kids received unprecedented backlash on social media.
Some of the pushback that we got for this one was a little bit more disturbing.
Pushback that included pictures of weapons.
It was lots of comments by people whose profile pictures are them holding guns and saying, "I will be there."
And disturbing words as well.
It is language that mirrors the language of some hate groups that we have had contact with.
The language that they used was language that directly paralleled language that this church has received from hate groups in the past.
The pushback was fast and pretty brutal.
A lot of people did not like that apparently, and it just warranted different threats.
Reverend Dr. Greg Gray says this just adds to a growing list of anti-LGBTQ encounters his congregation, Enfield Pride, and the community have faced.
This isn't the first time Gray has seen community pushback or inappropriate language. A church service was disrupted back in June, and the church was vandalized in November.
Enfield police say the threats haven't been reported.
While Enfield police say they haven't received any formal threats.
Gray says while there were no specific threats of violence,
while Enfield PD says no direct threat of violence was actually made,
Dr. Gray says it's harder to feel included in Enfield.
Enfield Pride is training up a generation. Enfield Pride is training up a generation.